Kaboom Test Labs presents Nerds with Issues, issue number 3, featuring your host, I'm Doughboy. To my left, as always,
Admiral Duke.
And to his left,
the B-wok.
Woo!
The B-wok. He's adding the to the title. So we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to go over.
Big show.
Yeah, we missed. We didn't get to record last week. We were still recovering from Albuquerque Comic Con. That's just the bottom line of it. That weekend wiped us all out,
And we've all been very busy.
and had to get back to real life for a little bit.
We've all been con burned before. Let's not be
Oh, yes.
conned out.
We got conned.
You know what? This actually brings up something very, very, very true. I have gone to a lot of conventions over the past 3.5 years, and it's a very real thing. I get home, I unpack, or even if it's a local con, it takes me like a week just to come down off the high of
a convention.
Yeah.
Conventions are
absolutely.
the greatest. Conventions are the truest gathering of the community. And it's
Absolutely.
awesome.
I agree. God, and a lot happened, but we went over that in issue number 2. I'm glad you all listened. A lot of new stuff for us just in overall social networking and getting together with you guys. Now we're gonna go over a lot of stuff, and we are going to choose a random winner at the end of this show.
Yes, sir.
And what we'll do is we'll be posting that up on our Facebook page. So when you see your name on the Facebook page, we'll send you a message and let you know what you got. And we'll did we did we decide on the prize?
I've got a couple things I'm mulling over right now.
Give it to me. What do you think? And we'll vote this right now. People, we are deciding right now what we are going to give to you as a prize.
What do you have?
I'm still trying to decide whether I want to give away Thor: God of Thunder #1 for the Marvel Now relaunch, or if I want to give away a Deadpool #1.
Let's say this: we'll make it winner's choice.
All right.
You know what? Then I will throw in a Marvel Universe Thanos figure.
Okay. I'll one up.
3
Very nice.
3/4.
I'm going to one up on this. Not
he's
only are
gonna
we going
raise
to
the
give
bet.
it comic. No, I figure we all pitch in on something like this.
all
I'm
right.
down for this. So we talk about Saga constantly, my favorite.
yes.
If we have one down at the shop, that's mine right now. Put it in the box. The winner's going to get the first 6 issues of Saga, the trade paperback.
That's an amazing prize
you go.
package.
I think that would be awesome because it was a big
this
deal.
gonna go to
getting
one
100.
person?
Yes,
No. Let's give it to 3
3.
of our followers.
Interesting.
Look, 100. This is astonishing. Our Facebook page was up for 4 days,
Yeah.
and we got 117 followers.
I was stoked on that.
Me too.
That's amazing. Our listeners, 2 issues in, and they are down. I love it.
So much
Thank you
love.
so
Thank
much,
you.
Yeah,
guys.
it was
Thank you
awesome
so
to see.
much.
all of you.
And so, how do we decide who gets the prize then?
Well, we will just do it by random. We will randomly pick
How about
3 people.
3 of us each pick a winner?
Cool.
I
I'm
like
down.
that.
Obviously,
There we
you
go.
want that Saga. I'm just saying. I'll see what I can do.
So
I don't
we
know.
will have that for you.
We will, and then we'll
the
post it up
end.
on the Facebook.
Yes.
Yep. Big news going on. We'll talk about the big Star Wars news.
Oh my goodness.
The news.
The news. We'll get into that, but let's jump right in. Let's jump into some books. Are you fellas down for this?
Absolutely. Let's
That's what I'm
go.
all about.
Do you fellas mind if I go first?
Go first.
So
I am in my 70s outfit because of Star Wars. This was thought out and planned.
I can't wait. I
Yes.
can't wait because Duke,
Yes.
he's got something special. Admiral Duke is going to have his say on this, and I think it's going to be good. So
I
we're
have
going to get
had
into that.
entirely too much time to think about this.
This
I'm
is
ready
gonna be
to go.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit. I'll go first here with just some recent books, and really only one. I mean, there was a few good ones, and I think
I know what he's
Admiral
talking
Duke agrees
I'm
with me
excited.
on this
I'm
because
so
he sent
excited.
me the text as I was thinking it. So far, my favorite book of 2013 is Uncanny Avengers #3.
Oh man, all 3 of them great books.
Now, should we talk about this? I feel like they should have already read 1 and 2. Can we give a
Absolutely.
spoiler alert,
Can-
or can we not really spoil
Can we
it? but-
reveal the villain at this point?
well,
The
he's
vil-
on the cover of issue 3.
Oh, duh.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
let's
2
say
and 3.
spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, you might want to jump a minute ahead.
Because we're going to talk about Uncanny Avengers.
We are. Red Skull is back.
In a
Yes.
big, disgusting way.
Let me put it to you this way:
Really.
Red Skull and just Red Skull with Charles Xavier's powers.
It is amazing.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow is the word for this book. That's how I end every issue.
And it comes from the amazing mind of...
Rick Remender.
Oh
absolutely.
my gosh.
Of Fear Agent fame.
it's really one of those stories that like the third book. So we've been waiting 2 months Well, all I know is we waited for a while, and we got it, and
It's
I
been
read
worth
it.
the wait.
Yeah, I read it in like 15,
I totally
20
agree.
minutes.
I was going to say it's a good thing. It's really, really good because
It's a
been
good thing
worth
I
the
care
wait.
a lot about this book.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
Every panel, every single panel, everywhere you went through that book, you're just like, this is getting crazier and crazier.
I agree. Every panel and page was almost like a money shot. It was
Yep.
ridiculous.
Well, the thing is, the final panel in issue number 3 blew my mind
As I think it
because it was so cinematic.
Yeah.
It was so scary in the whole scope of the story, and you're just left going, oh my goodness, and it's iconic. I gotta say, instant classic.
Definitely an instant classic in the way that at the end of it, I was like, what did I just read?
Exactly.
What did I just read? Only the 3rd issue? And it wasn't because I had hyped myself up for it so much. It really was that good.
It
So
totally delivered.
big recommendation to everybody out there. Get your hands on 1 through 3 Uncanny Avengers if you haven't done so already. If you can't find them, go digital copies. Just
Now
get
here's
it. It's worth it.
Now here's the thing. I just want to juxtapose this. Here's 3 issues that are just flat out amazing, beginning to end. And then I just want to compare this to another book that has been kind of a travesty in both PR and except sales. It's been astonishing.
Right.
I'm talking about the Superior Spider-Man books. I mean, terrible story, terrible execution, and yet sales probably astronomical.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
of course,
Blows my mind.
because it's a number one. It's a
Everyone
talked
wants
about
to know
book.
what's going on.
And B-wok and I disagree. I liked it. I didn't like it in the way that, oh man, I can't really wait to see where the series goes.
But do you agree that it's a jumbled mess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely. But
Nothing else.
I was expecting much worse. I guess is maybe the best I can really
Somewhat
say.
agree with you on that one. Somewhat.
I really expected much worse, but that's not even.
I'm not as let down as as Mr. B-wok is, but it's kind of take it or leave it, and I'm kind of more than willing to leave it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I didn't mind it, but Dan Slott. What can we say?
There you go.
Hey, see you at WonderCon. We'll
Period.
get into that too. But the other thing is and this is the last thing I'll talk about for books is, and I think it's still flying kind of low under the radar, maybe not with our inner circle, but Daredevil End of Days.
If
Duke
you're not
has
reading-
yet to read the last 2 issues. He
That's right.
will.
I've read the first 2, and it is a gut wrenching,
Kinda effed up.
grabs right a hold of you kind of story.
I think gritty is the word for this book.
There you go.
And I think it is the.
It has a
perfect-
noir feel to it.
Oh, it is.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
With Bendis, whose background comes from noir. I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, it just in every way grabs a hold of you because you want to know what's going next. And I'm not going to give this away because this would be too crazy of a spoiler. But the ending of book 4 makes me so excited for book 5. It's only an 8-part series, but oh my god! I'll just say that Ben
That
Urich
cover's incredible.
visits somebody in prison. And as he's walking up to the cell, you're just thinking, who the hell is this? And when you find out in the dialogue between Ben Urich and this person, it's classic number 1. So far, that's my favorite out of all the books, by far.
Oh man, okay. Now I want to read this.
You're going to lose your mind.
Daredevil
dude.
End of Days.
Yeah, so those
gotta
are
finish
my big
reading
books
it.
right now.
The book everyone should be reading.
Uncanny Avengers
Gotcha.
and Daredevil End of Days. If you don't have them, get them because it's just awesome. Just get on the train.
Incredible.
So Duke, tell me some books or something you just something
Well,
you got
you
going
know,
on out there.
I actually alluded to this when we were all together for issue number 2, and the book that's blowing my mind, and especially just the fan reaction to it, and it's quite poignant that we're talking about it right now, is Dark Horse's Star Wars #1.
Yes.
An amazing, first of all, looking book, because guess who is doing the covers? Mr. Alex Ross. Okay. And they look fantastic, and the story.
Brian Wood is one.
Oh
of the,
my!
Brian Wood's star is rising so high, and it's incredible to see. Because DMZ is incredible. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked for the all-female X-Men book he'll be doing with Olivier Coipel. But I'll let you go back to your point.
Well, no, and you're absolutely right. It's Brian Wood's story that's really the best part about it. I mean, here you have the outside wrap. Alex Ross is simply going to sell a book because he's doing the cover. But it's a great story, and from a Star Wars fan's point of view, it's set immediately after Star Wars: A New Hope, which is
Nice.
which is the first Star Wars movie. dang it.
Yeah.
to the classically educated. And it takes place right after they're looking for a base after the Yavin base has been completely exposed, and it talks about an element that you never think about in warfare, which is attrition. You think the empire is all encompassing, and any empire at war, like Germany in World War II, is a little exposed.
Okay,
and that's I'll leave it there. Sounds kind of boring, but it's a great story.
That sounds.
No.
Beautifully intricate.
And just so people know, that was not our big Star Wars news.
No, not at all. Not even remotely.
But now is that kind of all? I mean, I know obviously Uncanny Avengers, but
right now I've something I discovered in the store, and I'm going back a little bit. Marvel's Civil War. You know, we're going back a few years there.
Oh.
2005.
One thing I'd never read it. Okay, so
that's right.
That's right. We discussed this, and I'm embarrassed. I'm halfway through it.
Oh, you're.
And I'm loving every single page.
Yes.
You've gone to the Spider-Man.
This is my goodness. This is one of the most amazing books I've ever read. And I talked with someone in the store today, and they brought up, I read this in my English class, and I was like, "You're kidding me!" And I totally understand why. And it's an amazing book.
Well, it's a classic story of Civil War.
Yes,
it's exactly why it is, and it's superheroes against other superheroes. And I'm not talking about X-Men versus Avengers. While I loved the X-Men versus Avengers series, nothing in my mind will ever top Civil War for me. I just loved every minute of it, except the killing of Steve Rogers.
It is dropping my jaw.
Yeah.
It really is.
Did you did you ever read the Death of Captain America book?
No.
Okay.
I was out of comics for a few years. I've been back in for a couple of years, and I'm trying to make up for lost time.
You're doing it right there. The next one I'll say right around that period, X-Men Messiah Complex. If you haven't read Messiah Complex,
that's on my list. And Old Man Logan is directly after Civil War.
Okay.
I just finished Crisis on Infinite
right,
Earths, which I read years ago.
Yes,
but I got back caught up on that, and that's a really great story.
I want all original first printings of those.
Right.
Crisis?
I want them all.
Crisis.
Yes, that is to me something. I saw that on an episode of that movie or the show Comic Book Men.
Oh yeah, well,
it was like their first or second episode ever, and somebody came in with those, and I remember I was like, I had a bunch of those. Man, this is BS. I want them again.
Yeah, and Crisis on Infinite
Number 8,
Earths.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
7 and 8.
Barry Allen.
7 and 8. That's what I loved about the story. I forgot what a roller coaster it was because 7, Supergirl dies. 8, Barry Allen dies. I'm like,
Barry
oh
Allen
my
dies
gosh.
saving the DC universe.
Yeah.
Existence, man.
It's such a great book. No, that's awesome. It sounds like you got like a little bit of reading to do. You'll get through End of Days 3 and 4 like it's nothing.
Yeah,
you'll be through it.
And I just want to put a plug in for FF. I've just getting started on that.
Mike Allred.
Mike Allred. That's all I got to say.
For those who don't know,
Mike
Allred is my favorite artist of all time. And yes, the book is incredible.
Okay.
Just wait till you read 2 and 3.
I'll have to give those a shot also.
I'll lend you those, and you get schooled.
Where are you at? Give me a couple books. You seem
Mr. B-wok.
Yeah.
Well, this last week, Minutemen issue 6 shipped out to comic book stores. The final issue for the Minutemen
Before Watchmen
miniseries. Yeah. I know Doughboy read it. How do you feel about Doughboy? Because I thought it was a masterpiece.
No, I loved it, and we won't give anything away. We'll let you all figure that out and or read it. And I know we got plenty at the store. I've seen them there.
Yes, I got a stack.
I feel the same about it as I didn't love it as much as you did. That's maybe because I was still on that crazy high from Uncanny Avengers. Like that thing just it ruined me for the rest of the night.
Wow.
But it was good, and there's just not a bad book or a title in the Before Watchmen series. Dollar Bill comes next week, by the way.
I might even end up picking that up, seeing as it is
a one shot. Yeah, it hasn't disappointed, and so I'm hoping that Dollar Bill's cool.
Yeah.
And Duke, you've read most of them. You're going to probably wait for the trade?
I actually, when I pick it back up, absolutely. I've read, I wouldn't say half of it. I said I've probably read a full third of all the Before Watchmen stuff.
Yeah.
I would say that Minutemen is definitely my favorite but that's Darwin Cook.
I think what I love most about the Before Watchmen initiative is that it really shows, as someone who was so strongly against it when it was announced, if nothing else, the Before Watchmen initiative shows that a right creative team on any book, a writer and artist can sell a book. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right amount of money.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I want to tell you something.
Definitely poured some money into that series.
I'm glad you brought up Before Watchmen, because I realized something the other day, and I might catch some flack for this, but I've noticed that all of you, like Duke, Power Girl, right? It's your favorite, right?
Oh, my goodness.
It's your favorite. You've got a favorite artist that draws her. I got to tell you right now, my favorite is by far Silk Spectre. By far.
That's a personal favorite.
Wow.
And Amanda Connor.
Amanda Connor.
I read through them again the other day because I just loved the covers. I loved everything about the book. I read through them again, and I was like, I love this chick. She is awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously, she kicks ass. And after hearing Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti talking about it in their panel, it made me want to read it again. And I went through the things like how Amanda Connor was talking about the first time she killed a man.
That's right.
And I was like, oh my God, I read that again. And those like 4 panels, you're like, whoa, that did go crazy. And I completely had forgotten about it. So yeah, if you have not read those, wait for the trade if it comes out. I mean, those are going to be great to have. I'm going to get them.
Now, diving a little bit deeper into this, did you notice what she was talking about, where certain things were mirroring what was going on in The Comedian? Remember she said that?
Yes. Now, I didn't notice any of those, and it's because until you reminded me of it right now, I didn't even think about that. I really need to look at some of the stuff on there.
A little piece of info for the audience. Amanda Connor said that if you really read Silk Spectre and simultaneously read The Comedian, there's certain things that happen between the characters that totally mirror each other because, the relationship between those two characters.
And I won't mind rereading The Comedian again. All right, so we've got some picks out there, and it's stuff that you need to pick up and read.
Some current stuff, some classics.
I think one of the reasons why we love doing the podcast, or at least I know for me, is the books that you guys get me hooked on.
Absolutely.
And us being able to get people hooked on these books as well, just by doing this, that normally wouldn't know about it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's because, we all hang out with each other, and the big reason that I'm getting ready to read Old Man Logan is because everybody at the store keeps calling me Old Man Logan.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the beard.
Oh,
that's
my
what
God.
it is.
It really is.
It's getting there,
thumbs
dude.
up, buddy.
Thumbs up. As you roll your eyes.
That was more a move to the on-air sign. I was like, oh, what's going on?
Don't disrespect the beard.
Wow. We talked a lot on the show about what's going on with our Facebook page, with the Twitter page, and we've set some really good stuff up. We're now broadcasting on SoundCloud. Chances are you're listening to us right now. That's where it's at. SoundCloud.com is awesome for us. That is an easy way for us to put our show up, and it's an easy way for you guys to get it, download it, stream it, put an app on your phone, and listen to it in the car.
Well, I can tell you right now on the Kindle Fire, you can just go to the website and play it. Bam.
It's so awesome.
On the iPod. Go to the website. Play it. Bam.
And they're awesome. They're doing this for free. They're doing this for people with podcasts, for independent artists to get their music out there. It's really that cool. Yeah, they get advertisement and things like that, but it's a really cool site. So
yeah, SoundCloud is where it's at.
Share this with your friends.
So I can tell you right now, if you want to listen to the show, go to our Facebook page and just it's on there a couple times, and we're going to post it again. And
That's
then
probably
we'll
how you
post
got there.
this one as well.
Yeah, just search Nerds with Issues on Facebook. Also on Twitter, it's @NerdsWithIssues.
And our pages are looking awesome.
Everything's going. The only thing we haven't really finished up yet is the website, and
the
that's
website's
just
coming.
I haven't bought the hosting yet, and I'll get that. But other than that, Duke and I at least have decided so far we're doing WonderCon Anaheim in March.
Anaheim.
It's going down.
It's going to happen.
B-wok's on the fence, but I think we're going to push him over to our side.
That's right.
I might end up.
We're gonna throw him in a gunny sack.
Put
him in the trunk.
Tell your people at school, look, listen to our podcast. At this point, we're kidnapping B-wok. So
Absolutely.
I think it's going down, whether you'd like it or not. B-wok, don't let us down. WonderCon.
Don't mess this up,
Disneyland?
rookie.
Now I haven't looked. I haven't looked at the full list on
Says the man
WonderCon.
with the beard.
Dude,
next
can
to
you
me.
imagine? Dude, can you imagine the three of us at Disneyland?
Can we go to Disneyland and WonderCon? Because if so, I might not be able to resist.
Dude, it had no.
That's gonna okay.
Here's the thing. I said
money,
this
money.
has to be. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's
all right.
gonna happen.
All right.
Believe me, we can do it. And,
All right.
and
I know you've done it.
Well, I know we're going to WonderCon one way or another, and it's going to be awesome
a
because
comic
there's
book
going to be some
convention
great
in
people.
Disneyland. Do I need that?
That's true.
I could
That's all
die
I'm
a happy
saying.
man after that day.
That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be busy though. That's springtime, but hey, screw it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
You don't even
down.
understand.
Then after that, we got Ace in June.
Yes, Ace is a local sweetheart for me. I don't know. It's Albuquerque's little
Want to hear something funny?
big, awesome
3 weeks
convention.
after that.
Ace was my first Comic-Con last year.
Really?
That was my first one.
Ace was my first real Comic-Con, if that makes any sense.
Wow.
Why you guys make me feel old?
It was
Because
real subtle.
I remember the old Albuquerque comic book conventions that used to be down at the Sheridan down off of I-25 and University. And
Why are you dating yourself?
Because no one else will.
Look, street cred. Look, boy, street cred, yo.
Did you just call me boy?
Heck yeah, man. Because
Boy, I said boy.
look,
I
I've
even
been
fuck with
I've
like
been
corn.
doing this. See, here's the thing. I feel silly. because you guys
look
look at me
like
like,
Foghorn
you
Leghorn
haven't
right now."
read Civil War? Well, yeah, I've been out of the game for a little bit, but man, I've been going to comic book conventions and doing comic book things since 1985. My first comic book was Batman 402.
Well, Ace was my first Comic-Con, and it was awesome. I had a great time. There were a lot of cool guests there. I'm looking forward to the newest year to come by so we can get this on already. It's going to wait till June?
2013 is going to be a great year.
I think so.
Absolutely.
I think
it's
we got a
already
lot-
been a really good year.
Yeah, I think we got enough stuff lined up.
And we have great listeners. You guys
All
are
of you
awesome.
guys.
Well, I'll tell you this. If we go to WonderCon, we will certainly represent for you guys. And what we'll do is, when we go, we'll take different questions you guys might want to have for anybody we might get to do interviews with and whatnot.
Well, absolutely. And one thing I want to point out is the reason we go to these conventions. Okay, this is, yes, because we're giant nerds, but also we're going because you guys can. I mean, that's the whole point. And one thing I'm going to attempt a masterful segue here, especially with Hollywood being as involved as they are with the cons. That's one reason we're going to WonderCon. And I really, down the line, can't wait for San Diego because I think that San Diego might be the coming out party for Star Wars Episode VII.
That'll be dope. I think it's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything we see from now until 2015 will be Star Wars.
Am I the only person that was sidelined by the JJ Abrams hire? I mean, it's not official yet.
Right.
But am I the only one that was completely struck dumb by that for about a half a day?
No.
It's surprising. It was, unexpected in the best way possible.
Here,
that.
okay, so
I guess I got to agree with that. Yeah.
do you guys remember I know one of you was around when I talked about it, but somebody said who should direct, and I had two in mind that were from the beginning.
I've heard you say this.
Joss Whedon and JJ Abrams.
Which I thought both of those were stupid choices.
And-
I'm not going to lie. I'm being absolutely honest.
Well, Joss Whedon came out like a month or two ago, and Joss Whedon, and he was like, I'm locked in with the Avengers. As much as I would love to
obvious.
do it, but I am locked in with the Avengers. There's not much else I can do with that.
And I thought JJ was locked in with Star Trek.
Everybody thought that, but I think what really happened is they came with that Disney money, and he
They
was
got
like,
snaked.
Oh, yeah.
So J.J.
Disney
Abrams,
money.
this is going to be his last Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, he had a great
and it's called Into the Darkness, right?
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Into
yes,
Darkness.
which looks amazing.
It does.
Yes.
And then he's going to move on to the Star Wars franchise. They haven't said whether it's going to be more than one movie, but he's definitely set to direct number 7.
Well, I'm looking at it this way. First of all, I think that Kathleen Kennedy, who is now the head of Lucasfilm, was shooting high, and I honestly believe she was trying to get Steven Spielberg. And I'm going to keep saying that because I think that's how high Disney was shooting with this.
But I also think that in my mind, it would have been obvious Spielberg would have been out just because of his relationship with Lucas and
it would seem,
Indiana Jones franchise.
For as many reasons, I would have thought that Abrams was out. But he's in, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I look at it this way. You look at the pattern of his films. He had the first Star Trek film, which was flashy and gorgeous, and it utterly changed the way we all see Star Trek.
Absolutely. It made me a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then what was his next film? Super 8, a more subdued personal film that was like a modern-day E.T., very, Spielbergian.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and then what is his next film? A powerful return to Star Trek that's a little darker and a little crazier, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe he's going to fall back into pattern, which is a little bit subdued, and a Star Wars film, probably in the right vein, and I'm more excited about it than I was when I first heard about it. So I think it's going to be. I think it's a good thing.
Question: Was Spielberg a producer on Super 8?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure he was a producer.
I'm pretty sure he was.
Not positive of
God,
it.
if they teamed up again somehow.
Right.
I mean, who's to say Spielberg's not in line to produce?
Who's to say Abrams?
Who's to say?
Abrams doesn't nail the Star Wars film, and then Spielberg and Abrams do the next? I don't know, Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, dude, they need to get that figured out. As
They need
long
to
as there's no
recover from
Shia
the Shia
LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
Yeah, dude. Hey, check me out. I'm swinging by the snake vines. We'll get into that at some other point. But
The killer ants, the wonderful CGI ants.
yeah, and they did have to pull him up with a
It
snake.
that really wasn't a terrible movie.
I'm sorry.
No, dude. Episode 1. I win. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. Episode 1.
Okay.
And episode 2 if you want me to keep going.
Well, episode 2, I would agree, is worse than Crystal Skull. I don't know if Phantom Menace is. Crystal Skull was pretty freaking terrible.
Come on, man.
Aliens.
Lead-lined refrigerator?
And-
Nuclear blast?
Okay.
Yeah!
Well, he did, in all fairness, he jumped out of a plane with a raft and landed in a waterfall and was cool.
That's true.
All right. So let's
Yeah.
just say Indy's got some good luck. But hopefully he gets good luck and gets JJ Abrams. And
He survived evil mind control.
Hopefully, we get good luck and have the Star Wars cast return for Episode 7.
Okay.
That's all
I
I'm
hope
waiting
so.
for at this
Sub
point.
question: does this bring Harrison Ford out of his Star Wars cocoon and back into the fold?
I think, here's the thing. I think the only way you sell a new Star Wars film is with the 3 original stars.
Couldn't agree more.
They've got to be in there. I mean, Mark Hamill looks rugged enough to look like a Jedi master that has helped tame
And
the galaxy.
Leia lost all that weight.
See-
Weight Watchers, what's up?
That's the thing. There was this article that came out when the new film was announced that they had known for about a year, and I was even at Star Wars Celebration 6 a month and a half before the announcement was made, and I'm like, wow, she looks amazing.
Yep.
Of course, she had the Weight Watchers deal, but now you know why she made the Weight Watchers deal.
I'm glad she did it. Yeah. She doesn't need to rock the gold bikini, though. Not this one. Do you remember Drop Dead Fred? She was so awesome in Drop Dead Fred.
Yes, I do.
Sorry, I had to go off on a side tangent there. Look, you already know how I feel about it. The minute I found out, I posted on our Nerds with Issues Facebook page, and I was ridiculously giddy, like excited.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
I
I've never
wanted
seen
this
this
to go
giggle so
right.
much in my life.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, both of you guys have heard me say this, and I do believe, I said this the moment that Disney bought Lucasfilm, I do believe that the best Star Wars film has not yet been made.
Yeah.
And I absolutely agree
I
with
am
you.
saying that being the most avid fan of Empire Strikes Back that you will ever meet. Irving Kershner made the quintessential Star Wars film, and it was the best film of his career, and nobody knows who the hell Irving Kershner is, and it is a disaster. That's true.
Well, I don't know if he'll
Empire
make
Strikes
the best
Back
one.
is a classic, one of the best movies ever made.
I don't know if he'll make the best one, but I certainly think he's capable of it.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. For the naysayers out there, I get it. I absolutely get why you would think that. But just for 1 second, knock out the Star Trek stuff. Put that out of your mind. Okay, that's I know it's a big deal. It's
is
a big deal, but it's something that you got to put in the
Have you
put in the
seen
back.
Fanboys?
But also, here's the one main thing, right?
Yes.
For the people who are Star Trek
All made in
fans,
Albuquerque, by the way.
Yes.
yeah, but for the people who are Star Trek fans, if you remember when JJ Abrams originally got this project and said, "Oh, I'm going to make it kind of a prequel or their younger days, a reboot," people freaked out, myself included, and it ended up being kick-ass. Is definitely up there in the tops of Star Trek films.
Well,
Agreed.
I totally agree. And little side note, if you want to know something, you want to know where J.J. Abrams got the vast majority of his inspiration to update Star Trek?
Where?
The 70s animated series. I went back and watched it on Netflix. It's on Netflix right now.
Oh,
and when
Christ.
you go back and watch, I'm not even kidding. When you go back and watch some of the episodes, you'll go, that ended up in the movie. That ended up in the movie, and it's really crazy. If you ever get a chance to watch the animated Star Trek series on Netflix, you
Wow.
definitely should. It's
Yeah,
worth the wasted afternoon.
Taking me for a ride on that one.
It's good stuff.
I might check it out, but honestly, my final say on everything with the J.J. Abrams thing is just let it play out. let it play out and be pleasantly surprised, if anything. Yeah.
What's funny is in my universe, it makes odd sense. I was thrown for a loop when I first thought about it, but the more and more I realized,
we broke the news to you, and you were like,
"Oh yeah."
You woke up from a nap and you got like slapped
I was
around
asleep.
by JJ Abrams.
Yeah, I felt like JJ Abrams punched me in my sleep and woke me up.
And I told B-wok, I was like, I guarantee he's sleeping.
Yeah, and that's
him,
the
son.
thing. I was like, man, they just hired him because they couldn't
exactly
get
what I
Spielberg.
said.
Because that was my initial reaction. But the thing is the more I thought about it, the more I realized, first of all, that I am a Star Trek fan because George Lucas abandoned me for 16 years. And I had to pick up something, so I picked up Star Trek. And so I think there's a synergy, a beautiful thing here that I'm okay with, that the director of Star Trek, the best Star Trek movie that redefined it for me and opened my eyes to how wonderful Star Trek could be again, is going to do the same thing for Star Wars. I'm okay with that.
If nothing else, we've got something really cool to look forward to.
I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Either the coolest Star Wars movie ever, or a movie worse than Episode 1.
And I think it's going to provide us with.
I don't believe a film worse than Episode 1 is possible.
No, I agree.
Crystal Skull.
The bottom has been defined. There's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good, and I'm looking forward.
I like
to it.
that.
Can't wait to see what happens.
You like that? It's patented. It's copyrighted. It's mine.
B-wok, did you have anything to say on the Star Wars stuff?
I'm still kind of awestruck with awesome excitement. I don't know. I think it's a great call. I think it makes so much sense, and I feel where both of you are coming from. But I mean, here's my whole thing with Star Wars. Episode 1 came out. I'm gonna make you guys feel old because Episode 1 came out when I was 6 years old. It was the first Star Wars film I had ever seen. My dad was stoked for me to go. My grandma takes me to see this movie, and I can't help but feel at 6 years old that it was the worst movie I ever saw. So I went home, told my father I did not like Star Wars, and I'm lucky I did not get a firm beating that night. And instead, I got to see 4, 5, and 6 in continuum, and went, oh, that was awesome. Why is that new one so bad?
Way to go, Dad.
Episode 1 almost destroyed Star Wars for me from the beginning of my life. So it can. You're absolutely right. 7 can only be a vast improvement.
Epic save goes to Pops.
Yes.
Good job. Good job.
All right, I dig it.
Well,
Dad raised me right.
Look, I mean, the Abrams hire just proves something that I've been saying for a long time. Now, I broke some news to you guys today that I know B-wok knew, but we're talking about Avengers 2 is coming up, and it's the new Marvel cycle, and some big news broke this week about
Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey being looked at to do some work for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians
set for
of the Galaxy.
Wow. It's an interesting call.
Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that's a pairing.
Me and Duke are on the same page here. We're thinking that it's going to be more of a
Does this mean we're not going to get
motion capture / voice acting stuff? You're not going to see. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I absolutely agree.
I mean, I don't see Jim Carrey as Star-Lord.
I think they're.
I don't even know what
or
that
Drax
is.
If you don't
the
know
Destroyer.
who we're referring to, we're thinking Groot and Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, easy.
Absolutely. I
The
feel like
CGI animated characters is what they would have to be.
it couldn't not be that.
Yeah. And that's a good and I've heard so many people complaining, going, really, those guys in a Marvel film? But this goes back to something that I've been saying, which is
something I completely agree with you, but I'll let you.
This is why they hired JJ Abrams, because JJ Abrams has clout. He has name. He has all that stuff because of the Star Trek movies, because of Mission Impossible, because of everything because of Lost. I mean, JJ Abrams is geek culture. Okay, that's why he's there. JJ Abrams' name will put people in the seats. Okay?
Much like Jim Carrey and Adam
Sandler.
Because let's be honest, when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I was immensely skeptical.
Right.
They need names like that to bring in an audience for a team that no one has heard of. At least people have kind of somewhat heard of Avengers at a certain point.
Absolutely.
People are sitting there going, Guardians of the what? Who? And so I absolutely agree. Those are names that will entice towards that film. A film I was initially not planning to see. And, this is something that I think would be legitimately cool. This was an idea put out by Comic Book Girl 19. If you don't know her, she's on YouTube. She's really awesome. I'm a huge fan of hers. But it's her theory that what if they make this Guardians of the Galaxy film and you introduce this awesome team in space a police force in space, and this is obviously a setup for Thanos. This is all marching towards Avengers 2.
Absolutely.
So what if you set up this team, you're like, oh, they're superheroes, they save the day, and at the end of the film, Thanos shows up and murders them all. And you're sitting there going, oh my God, the Avengers are going up against this. How much that would, and I mean, no disrespect to the Guardians fans, because I mean, I love Rocket Raccoon as much as the next guy, but would that not be brilliant? Would that not be a brilliant stroke to add on to Avengers 2?
She may have a point there, because have you seen? Jamie Gunn is the guy who is making
Scooby-Doo,
but he also did a movie called Super.
Yes, which is a brilliant film. Have you seen Super? Doughboy?
And what happened at the end of Super?
Rainn Wilson and
oh my good, and
Never seen
Ellen
it.
Page.
Ellen Page, thank you.
Never
I'm
seen
gonna
it.
bring you that tomorrow,
And
you're
Kevin
gonna
Bacon.
love it.
It is the most. It is more twisted than Kick-Ass.
Yes,
Yes.
And
Well, yeah, if it's got Rainn Wilson in it.
and it has Steven Tyler's daughter.
Oh yeah, Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler.
It's the craziest superhero movie.
It's Kick-Ass on crack, and it's
on bad
Is Liv
crack.
Tyler wearing a lot of clothes?
No, not really.
no.
She's
But it's not like
Christian and
Anne
then she
Hathaway
turns.
from Love,
No.
Love and Other Drugs? Okay.
And even Ellen Page is oddly attractive in that movie. I'm just gonna say it.
Is it wrong that I found her oddly attractive in Juno? Is it wrong?
Not at all.
Okay.
She's pretty hot
It's
in
a little
Whip It.
weird,
Whip It's a
but
great fucking
yeah,
movie.
my bad.
Oh my god.
We're going off on tangents here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But yes, Jamie Gunn has a tendency to do some extreme things in films. It is a possibility that the Guardians could get murdered off at the end.
I'm just saying,
good
think
God.
about it. Would that not be the most brilliant stroke to add onto Avengers 2? To sit there and go and be shell-shocked by a film like that?
Yeah.
And
I think the audience
But
would
would
feel
Marvel
like they
do
just
that?
got screwed.
a little
They
bit. But
might.
Like, wow, all that for that. Thanks.
But see, like I said, this is all about getting butts in the seats,
Yeah.
sell tickets.
I'll
and
tell
it's what
you-
Disney does, and Disney does it well, and that's they get
with
the
that
names.
said,
I agree.
I'm going to tie this all together a little bit and say, with the Doughboy knows how well both Daredevil and Daredevil End of Days have been lately. Just Marvel's just been proving that Daredevil is a character that has so much ground to cover, and it's just such an interesting character. To bring him back from the brink to where he was in the mid-'90s, where everyone had forgotten the name Matt Murdock. If nothing else, the comics have proved that he's such a great character, and that with Marvel now reacquiring the rights to the films from Fox, I cannot wait to see where that goes. I realize it's a kind of long-term goal, but can you imagine a Disney Marvel Daredevil film?
In my opinion right now, and this may be a little off subject, but this is something I just have to say, I really feel like Marvel is winning the war of the majors right now.
I could not agree more.
That's like stating that the sky is blue.
Well, I just
That's
feel
as
like
obvious as obvious
DC
can get.
had some momentum going with the New 52, but then I feel like it's just been crushed in the last 6 months.
Absolutely.
And
I feel like people were like the New 50 what?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of.
I've almost dropped all the titles, man.
No, I'm still loving Wonder Woman. I'm still loving Animal Man.
Aquaman.
Done with Wonder Woman.
Aquaman.
Absolutely.
Aquaman,
and, Justice
Superman,
League, just
Justice
for the Shazam
League.
backups, if nothing else.
I'm only doing 4 now.
I'm sorry, the Justice League backup Shazams are brilliant.
Yeah.
That's the best. Might be the best DC.
Throne of Atlantis has been okay so far.
Throne of Atlantis has been good. I've been liking Throne of Atlantis.
I've got them. I haven't read them.
Ivan Reyes reminds me of George Perez in a way simply because
right?
There's not a single character in the DC universe you can draw wrong. Do you
That's
know
true.
Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree with that.
All right.
Yeah.
The book looks good. Yeah.
Well,
It's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, Marvel's killing them, and
we'll
it's
agree.
crazy. It's,
Yeah.
it's
With the
just
exception-
ridiculous.
with the
inferior
exception-
Spider-Man.
And it's
with the
upsetting me
exception of
because there's
Spider-Man.
all these new
with the
books that I'm
exception
liking.
of the debacle of the Spider-Man getting sodomized by a meat hook. Like seriously,
It really seems
it's
that
a
way, doesn't it?
massacre. I'm sorry, but
Wow. You gave that some thought, and that's what I'm freaked out about right now. Okay, so really quick, seriously, I have to get into this, and, love me or hate me for it, whatever. We all know I love Smallville. It's a great show.
Superman.
absolutely.
Quintessential
CW,
comic book character.
Would you say it's the best Superman television show of all? No, the Fleischer cartoons.
no.
Oh, absolutely. The Fleischer cartoons are
And
the
but
epitome of
Smallville's up
Superman.
there. Smallville's
Yes.
up there.
Great show.
Well,
Geez,
live
Fleischer
action show. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't,
yes,
you can't.
yes, live
it's
action
apples
show.
and oranges on that. A live action show, though, yeah, definitely. I love Lois Clark. Don't get me wrong, but
I mean, Bo Duke.
Something's amazing about Smallville. How it ran so long and it was all so good. Really.
okay, that was
That was
clearly Jonathan Kent.
Bo
Clearly,
Bo Duke.
wow.
Duke's a hazard, man.
And they actually had a Dukes of Hazzard episode. It was awesome.
I remember.
But you all know that I love Smallville, And there's a new show on the CW. We like to talk about TV shows from time to time, Arrow. If you haven't watched it, I'm probably the one that's late because I'm 8 episodes in, and apparently there's 11 episodes. And
It's a great show.
It's fantastic. Seriously. He's crazy. He straight kills people.
Yes.
And they just introduced Black Canary.
Yes, they did.
And
Very nice.
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to say this. She's got a J-Lo booty. Okay? I may or may not want to wear it as a hat. But anyways, listen.
We can neither confirm nor deny
Right.
the desire of ass hat.
It could be true.
But Black Canary always, has that very, modest outfit that she wears.
No.
No, not modest.
No, it wasn't at all.
Come on.
To this day, I really want Alex Ross to make a book called Zatanna and Black Canary, The Power of Fishnets, because I would buy that in a heartbeat. Oh, I'm saying.
Well,
It'd be a glossy pinup book. It would.
Absolutely.
By Alex Ross.
But seriously, if you haven't watched it, check it out. It's really cool. I dig it. Speaking of Smallville and Superman and ways to completely just really upset me when it comes to Man of Steel.
To make Doughboy go on a rage the way Dan Slott makes me go on a rage.
I just look.
Superman
You don't
fan.
have
Here we
to.
go.
You don't have to
Listen,
agree with me on
Superman
this.
fanboys in the room.
You don't have to agree with me on this. But the bottom line is there has been a news story coming out.
And it's not confirmed.
It's not, but there is a character, a female character, as it shows it on
cited
IMDb. Yeah, which is pretty reputable. They know their stuff, and she is listed as Jenny Olsen.
Not Jimmy.
Not Jimmy.
Not Turtle Boy.
Unless they're doing
Two
something
dudes are
where it's
sitting
like,
home oh my god,
Turtle Boy.
You went Turtle Boy.
I went Turtle Boy.
All right. But I just think that I'm hoping it's one thing and not another. If she's supposed to
She's not
be
even
the
a ginger.
new Jimmy, if she's supposed to be the new Jimmy, I'm going to have issues.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is instead of having Jimmy Olsen in the new Man of Steel, it's going to be Jenny Olsen.
And that's what it looks like so far. And in the photo that they have as well of her and Perry White, who is played by Lawrence Fishburne, don't really have a problem with it. I get it. It's going to be different.
You're really not bugged with Morpheus being
That's
Perry
what
White?
bugged me out. Everybody's like, what is it, because he's black? No, it's because he's Morpheus. I don't see him as Perry White. I just can't. I don't know if you guys know this. His daughter is now a porn star. Interesting tidbit. I don't know why I know that. Let's get back to the subject. Bottom line is,
Lawrence Fishburne was in Apocalypse Now. Come on now.
Lawrence Fishburne was in...
Boys in the Hood.
He was.
He was.
He was putting boys in the hood.
Why do you look surprised that
At
I know
first,
that?
I was like, why would you just name Boys in the
You
Hood?
look so shocked that I know that.
Okay, that was good.
Well, the boys in the hood are always hard. And if you start talking trash, they'll tow your car. Like
I don't think they say tow your car.
Has it ever happened to you? Because
No.
it's not fun.
No.
That's gonna be.
No one's ever got so pissed at me they towed my car. There was apparently we hung around different gangsters. I don't know how they worked.
That was the Kmart version.
Well, Lawrence Fishburne, yeah, cool. You're Perry White. Jimmy Olsen, no, you're not a woman. He is a dude who is envious of Superman, envious of Clark, and who is also simultaneously the best friend because they're one and the same.
I think there's two reasons for this. I think
It doesn't make it right.
I'm not saying it does, and I totally agree with you in saying that hopefully this is like an introduction, kind of Smallville-esque. Maybe it's a sister or someone related to him.
I hope so.
Absolutely,
I
but
really
I'm
hope
still
so.
open-minded enough to watch this film because I believe Zack Snyder's got to
Only thing he's got going on
Christopher
his
Nolan,
side is
Braveheart.
the Watchmen. All right, he's lucky that I'm not getting
Sucker
more
Punch is
pissed.
great, and I don't care what either of you say.
Yeah, I feel like I
Great
got
film.
sucker punched for watching that. But anyways,
Look, I'm going to ignore Sucker Punch because everybody should. I'm going to go on.
Haters.
And here's the thing. If we want, and we all do, quality comic book movies, we have to deal with the fact that most everybody in Hollywood is crazy. Okay?
Absolutely.
okay.
And the fact of the matter is that somebody somewhere went, well, look at it this way. Young boys are going to find her very attractive, and she's going to be kind of
dude.
hot, and we can sell it this way and that way. But the other thing is they're looking at it the other way. They're looking at it from the other side of the gender divide, which is the female comic book fan is becoming a bigger and bigger demographic.
You want to know?
She is a character that they can identify with, and the boys will think, I'm
going to catch flack for this.
She's sexy or whatever.
I'm going to catch flack for this, but I will say this. I'm so upset about this that unless they have worked something out to where she is topless every scene like it's Showgirls Part 2, I'm not really going to be into it. Gotta be real. I really hope it's a sister of Jimmy Olsen. And then I want to be like, yo, Jimmy, is your sister single?
So this is seriously going to make or break the movie for you?
No, but I think
Well, that's
it'll
what you're
be an
I really
imperfection.
hope it doesn't, because I hope you know that at this point it doesn't get worse than Superman Returns. So
Well, hopefully Superman and Superman and Jenny Olsen don't have a baby that throws pianos. Let's just
Dude,
hope that
have
doesn't
you
go
ever
down.
seen Superman: The Quest for Peace? That is a much worse film than Superman Returns.
I'm going to just ignore that statement because I
it's
love
a
that
hard
movie.
call.
I don't care. John Cryer.
Having to pick between one and the other is
What
not,
are you talking about? John Cryer was awesome.
John Cryer's only good
Blasphemous.
role other than 3.5 Men was
First of
when
all,
he played Ducky.
it's
in
2.5
Candles.
Men. I don't know where you're
Whatever.
getting the
Here's
extra
the point.
dude from.
Here's the point. You guys asking me to.
The housekeeper that looks like a man.
Here's what it comes down to: the two of you asking me between the Quest for Peace and Superman Returns. It's like asking, "Hey, would you rather get stabbed in your left leg or your right leg?" I'm not going to enjoy it either way. It's not going to be pleasant.
I
but,
like it. I like Quest for Peace. It's cool, man. Nuclear Man, Solar Man. I don't
like
get whatever his name was.
Returns, and we'll call it a draw.
You no. That's spiteful. That's hateful.
No,
That's
it's
ignorant,
listen
is what
to me.
that is.
No,
That's
it is-
ignorant.
No, it is not.
Ignorant.
You ignorant.
If you watch Superman 1, if you watch Superman 1,
Yeah.
then you watch the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2.
We all
You've
realize
said this
Brian's-
before.
I'm just saying it makes much more sense.
That's
It makes
awesome
sense,
if
but-
it would have been made that way, but that was an
It was
accidental
made-
occurrence.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Brian Singer wrote that movie with Richard Donner's story in mind.
Brian Singer can go and say, "Hey, Dan Slott, let's jump off this building," and I'd be just fine.
X-Men 1 and
Alrighty,
2 were
we'll leave it
good.
there. X-Men 1 and 2 were...
We're not going to have that
Attaboy.
conversation. Yes,
That's
there
why
you
they're
go.
going back to recon them in the next film.
That's why
We will agree on that one for sure.
That's why I'm a little bummed that Matthew Vaughn is now producing and Singer now directing Days of Future Past. My excitement level went from here to here. Like,
Yeah.
that's gonna be cool. I guess.
I'd just rather read all new X-Men.
Yeah, Days of Future Past.
Well, anyways,
Jenny
Olsen is not Jenny. Okay, she's Jimmy. All right, stop it. All right, and Chaz Bono is really a chick. So, anyways, listen. I guess
that way.
it's just a fact. Stop.
Oh goodness. Well,
Okay.
I think that's the final word.
I think it is. We do want to go over just really quick books coming out next week.
Books coming out next week.
Is there any ones you guys are specifically looking for? As far as DC right now, I know Aquaman 16's coming.
Yes.
Aquaman 16 will be great.
Aquaman 16, before which Watchmen Dollar Bill #1. It's a one shot, so it's just one.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Pick it up. It's going to be good. I can't see that being bad.
work on Ozymandias.
Number 5 of Ozymandias is coming out as well.
6.
So it's about time.
Oh, yeah,
no,
we're
it's
getting
5.
to the end.
And we're getting down
It's
to
gonna be
the
5 of
nitty-gritty.
6. Yeah.
The
needy-reedy.
Flash 16, Superman 16, Talon 4. Is anybody reading that?
No, but I've heard it's incredible. I've heard nothing but good reviews on that.
All
book.
right. I'll have
And
to
Scott
check
Snyder's
it.
involved. Of course, it's going to be good. I mean, you liked American Vampire. You know you did.
We're not going to go there. Look, all I know is somebody better be bringing me Why the Last Man Volume 1.
And
Someone
American
forgot.
Vampire Volume 3.
Oh, we forgot to tell you that while the show was going on, Kevin snuck in, and so we did get our peanut gallery. But
Stole the TV.
apparently we're not as entertaining.
Straight out of Compton, to which he felt really
Yeah,
ridiculous.
we're not as entertaining as hockey, apparently. All new X-Men. Oh, no, just variant covers. Second printings are coming out. Sorry. Didn't mean to get everybody
I'm
excited. there.
Jesus.
I apologize. Oh, goodness. No. Hawkeye #7.
Yes.
Hawkeye #7.
Marvel's
we
best
don't
book.
talk about that much. Whoa.
Yes, I will say it is still Marvel's best.
Did you read Uncanny Avengers?
I did, but it's
But Brian, Superior Spider-Man #2.
Yes, aren't you excited?
Wednesday.
I got kicked in the right nut the other day, and now I'm going to get kicked in the left nut on Wednesday.
I'm just saying.
1-2 punch, bam.
It's really awesome. So there's good books. Now, also, before we go,
There's inferior
we will be
books.
announcing the winner of our contest. We're going to be doing that after the show. We'll be posting it up on Facebook, so be looking out for it on there.
Get you some free stuff.
If
As the B-Wok always says, if it's free, it's from me.
I've never heard you say that. But
And
apparently
one more-
B-Wok always says it.
And one more time, let's go ahead and run down the prizes. One lucky listener will receive...
Thor God of Thunder #1 with an option for Deadpool #1 by Brian
Yeah,
Posehn.
you can pick
Nice.
either one of those, yeah.
And I am throwing in a Thanos action figure from the Marvel Universe line, the 3 3/4 one with the Infinity Gauntlet, an awesome piece.
I'm throwing in Saga, the first 6, the trade paperback.
Nice.
It's,
So 3
it's
awesome prizes,
Absolutely.
and you will make sure you want to pay attention to our Facebook page.
Yep. 3 separate winners, so we'll be talking about that. Like us on Facebook, Nerds with Issues. That's pretty simple. Seriously, Nerds with Issues.
NWI.
Twitter, at Nerds with Issues.
Our really awesome Twitter page.
It is pretty kick-ass, I must say.
I'm
Duke,
impressed.
well done. nerdswithissues@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
And that's the easiest way to get a hold of us. We're out of here. I think we've said it best.
Is that issue number 3 in the can?
Issue
Can I
number
name
3.
this issue Chaz Bono?
There we go.
Done.
I like it. I like
There we
it.
go.
Done. Chaz Bono, issue number 3.
Shout
it's
out
over.
to Chaz Bono.
Thank you, Nerds with Issues listeners. You guys rock.
Absolutely. Thanks
What-
for hanging out. Peace.
Adios.